A girl goes out for the evening and returns with 200 photos. A boy goes out and returns with vibes. A camera roll audit reveals a massive divide. The female gallery is a mini documentary, precisely tracking outfits, sunset lighting, and interpersonal groupings. The male gallery is a chaotic wasteland, an accidental screenshot, a compressed meme, and a blurry picture of a street lamp. People usually write this off as a simple case of vanity, but looking closer at the data, the camera roll actually acts as a direct reflection of how differently the two genders process memory and prove their very existence in the world. When we experience an event, the human brain categorizes the incoming memories differently, based entirely on our initial intent while it was happening. For a girl, the camera operates as an emotional capture device. The goal is to preserve exactly how a moment felt, rather than strictly what it looked like. This creates a behavioral process we can call emotional archiving. If the mood shifts slightly, or the lighting evokes a new feeling, another picture is required to archive that specific emotional state. One selfie captures happiness. 10 selfies capture the exact nuanced flavor of that happiness. Boys treat the camera as a strict tool for collecting objective evidence. A single photo proves that an event occurred and that they were physically present. For them, that baseline evidence is sufficient. This graph illustrates the glaring biological flaw in that male strategy. The sharp downward curve shows the rapid rate of human memory decay over time, contrasted against the perfectly flat, stable line of a saved digital file. Trusting the male brain to act like a reliable, permanent hard drive is scientifically unsound. Because boys archive objective facts while girls archive subjective emotions, they are actively using the exact same technology for two entirely different psychological purposes. This difference in archiving history dictates the immediate, active process of taking a singular photo. This visual equation shows the mathematical reality of the female selfie process. It yields a staggering ratio of discarded photos to the final chosen image, filtering and eliminating 27 raw data blocks until a single, glowing, perfected block emerges at the bottom. Achieving that single output requires aligning highly complex psychological variables. The subject has to balance their current mood, the desired aesthetic, and their outward personality within a single frame. This rigorous selection process makes taking a picture an act of personal branding. The final image tells an audience exactly who the subject is on that particular day. Compare this intense curation with the male strategy. Take a single photo, blink aggressively at the screen, and immediately accept the result regardless of the lighting, framing, or focus. Males generally lack spatial awareness of the camera altogether. A boy typically only discovers the concept of an angle when he accidentally opens the front-facing lens and scares himself. That massive volume of discarded female photos serves a necessary statistical function. It provides the exact amount of raw data required to actively construct and control self-identity. Zooming out from the individual selfie, we can observe how group photos function as a physical manifestation of a broader social ecosystem. A female group photo requires active communication and coordinated posing. The physical act of taking the picture operates as a tool to maintain and strengthen the social bonds of the group. Male group photos look incredibly different. It looks like several generic, faceless mannequins popping into existence side by side in a stiff, perfectly uniform line. They stand like background non-playable characters in a video game, who were summoned rather than invited. This stark contrast raises a core scientific question. Is this disparity rooted in hardwired biological emotional expression, or is it a result of cultural conditioning? Historically, society has demanded higher levels of presentation and expressiveness from women. Long before smartphones existed, the cultural expectation to document and curate social events was already established. Social media platforms didn't invent these psychological differences. They merely provided a high-definition tool that amplified the existing social conditioning. Looking at these two conflicting approaches, the male method is strictly functional, getting the bare minimum job done. The female method creates a rich, heavily curated emotional diary. Relying purely on vibes carries an inherent vulnerability. Without a visual record, the intricate, tiny details of life inevitably slip away from memory. Without an emotional archive to reference, the subjective reality of those shared moments is permanently lost to time. The historical record essentially goes blank. While memories fade, A well-captured image provides emotional permanence, and securing that permanence fully justifies the effort of taking 20 retakes.